Good Monday morning. Welcome to the Olson Advantage. I'm Dave Olson, the Olson Properties team. It's been a few weeks since we've did a market update, so we're going to do one of those real quick today. We want to touch on inventory, interest rates, and an outlook. Those have been the three biggest questions that we've had over the last several weeks. If we look at the first slide that we have on inventory, you take a look and you'll see that overall metropolitan Phoenix inventory is up 70.6% over last year, 79% in the last 8 weeks. We're far from the highs of 18 and 19, but we've certainly surpassed last year. What's far more interesting though is we switch to the price range between 500 and 800,000. This area, we're up 167% over last year, 117% in the last 8 weeks, and we've blown through 2018, 2019, and 2020. The biggest reason for this is we don't have some of the price points that we used to a year and 2 years ago. So all of that inventory price point, as we know from our appreciation, is pushed upward. Significant increase in inventory as a whole, but with, as of this morning, only 12,129 homes on the market. We're far from less than half of what would be necessary for a neutral market in Phoenix, but it's certainly something to keep an eye on. We've ramped up considerably if you've been watching since the beginning of the year. Next topic we want to touch on in this next slide is interest rates. If you look at the slide we have, which goes back to the early 1970s, you'll see increases and then you see pullbacks. The gray bars represent periods of recession. There's debate whether we are currently in one or not. If I personally believe we are there, it will probably be announced sometime in July, certainly by the end of the third quarter. It is kind of a backward-looking metric. But if you go back to 1978, huge run up to 1981, and then we always pulled back for 19 months into 83. And then from 83 to 87, we pulled back even more after a little bit of a run up. Same thing happened in 94, 96, 98, 2001. And then most recently, we had a run up in 2013, pulled back all the way to 2016. We had a quick little run up between 16 and 18, and then a steady decline up until recent, and then we've climbed back out of the bottom. Very quick rise, I might add, recently, far more dramatic than a lot of these historical rises that we've seen here on this, indicated on this slide. But long term, as stated up at the top, typically when rates spike, there's some sort of a rebound pullback within 2 years. So are we done rising? We don't know. But whenever that does occur, we will see a pullback based on the historicals all the way back to 1970. Is it time to buy? Only you can decide that. Personally, I don't think rates are going to go astronomically higher. It's too punitive to the macro, but I don't make those decisions, and then who knows what the bigger heads are planning on doing. Last thing we want to touch on is long term. If you look at the slide over the same period of time, the last 22 years, the average appreciation in Phoenix, May to May, is 5.7%. We've only had 4 down years in the last 22 years. 2 of them were significant, and we all recall 08 and 09, which were very much outliers. But for the most part, it's been pretty steady here in Phoenix. Again, if your thinking is to be very much long-term, I think we should be fine. This is not the environment to make short-term decisions. 24% of all first lien mortgages are below 3%. People are treating those as an asset. They're going to hang on to them. There's a lot of people that are going to entrench, and they're going to leave. They're not going to leave. 40% of all homes are owned for free and clear. It's as high as we have on record going back 80 years. The average homeowner in the United States has $113,000 worth of equity. Again, the highest number on record. That makes for a very stable housing market all in, but it doesn't necessarily mean that people are always going to make the best decisions. Hopefully this information is helpful. If you have any further questions, please text the word answers to 59559 if we can help you with anything else. Thank you very much and have a great day.